What's up, y'all? I kind of switched it up there. It said, hey, y'all. I honestly can't tell you how many things I get. People will send me of like, if it says like, hey, y'all on it, or just y'all in general. People always send me things like, thought of you. It's so funny. Anyways, this post-competition series video is all about training and cardio. So how you handle this is obviously very, context dependent. For cardio, like how much were you doing before the show? And then also for training, like how are you training before? Are you like really injured and like banged up? So like I can give you some insight on that because that's usually where I'm at. So first let's go over cardio. So it depends on how you peak. Everyone peaks a little bit differently, but how I've been doing it for myself and for clients. Peak week is generally speaking like higher cardio in the beginning of the week and then it tapers off. Whereas a normal week of prep, it'll be pretty even. Like I'm not gonna say like, let's taper cardio, right? Like it would just be kind of like, hey, this is how much you do per week or per day. And you kind of just do it that way. So peak week's a little bit different, but just in general, if somebody's doing a good amount of cardio or they're doing like a lot less will really depend on how much you need to do afterwards. So, but as a general rule statement, I guess, most people are gonna be doing a decent amount of cardio to get stage lean. So I recommend dropping that, fairly, I guess substantially. Numbers are gonna depend on you. So I would suggest dropping it. I don't wanna say how much, because that's gonna be, again, dependent on you and your coach and like where you're at. But I would say dropping cardio is really important right after the show, but don't drop it to none is kind of where I'm getting at. So if you're really high, everybody's gonna drop it. The amount is gonna depend on like where you're at and if, just a whole bunch of factors. But you should be dropping it, but you should not be doing none. So you shouldn't be here doing cardio like a ton, but you shouldn't be doing none. You should kind of be somewhere in the middle-ish, plus or minus a little bit. And I just find that tapering cardio down really helps with hunger, actually, because cardio generally makes people pretty hungry. And you can kind of stick to your diet a little bit better that way. Also, you just want to get back to focusing on training hard and actually recovering. So that's like the one thing that really takes a hit when you have a lot of cardio is that you're expending energy, but it is eating into recovery for your training sessions, which is actually why I recommend mostly steady state cardio now, because it hinders recovery less. And for a physique athlete, which is who I'm talking to right now, you're going to be using cardio as simply as a tool to add to the deficit. If you are somebody who is training for, a strength sport, or if you're somebody who's training obviously for some kind of endurance event, your cardio is going to be a little bit different. But purely physique standpoint, I would say that you're looking at it as just a byproduct of like calorie deficit. So you want to do what is going to be the least invasive to your training recovery as possible. But no matter what, if you're doing a good amount, it's going to hinder that. So make sure that you do keep some cardio in the first few weeks after the show. Don't just like cut it out cold turkey completely. If you were doing like an hour a day and then now you're doing like none, your body's gonna be like, hey, what's up? Whoa. Like I talked about in the digestion video, if you haven't watched that, check it out. The 10-minute walks, those are a great way to make sure that your NEAT is up, and that's not gonna be the same as cardio, but it is gonna be activity. And then you'll also generally find that as your food goes up, your like just NEAT will go up because you're actually feeling like a human. So you maybe don't need as much cardio to kind of maintain where you're at. But in any case, don't just cold turkey, cut it out completely, especially if you're doing a lot. But you also don't need to be doing as much as you were during the show. And really what we don't need to be doing is using cardio as a tool if you've overeaten to drop back down. That's not a good thing. Your body is in a very sensitive spot and you've pretty much tapped everything out if you've gotten stage lean, right? So just the mindset of overeating and then trying to work it off can be a really, really, really slippery slope and can mentally really mess with you. So avoid that. Do not use cardio as a punishment if you've overeaten. Simply use it as part of your, hey, I'm gonna do this much this week, and then just stick to that. Now for training, again, same idea. It's important to not just go like, man, I just don't want to train like I'm so over this because that can happen, you know, like whether you're dealing with stuff like emotionally or you're just really worn down, you may not want to go to the gym. And just in general, like after this show, there's kind of like this like dip of just like motivation and like feels, and you can just be like, I don't want to go to the gym. And then if you have gained some weight, which is normal, newsflash, you're gonna be like, oh my God, I gained weight. Everybody knew that I did a show last week or 2 weeks ago, and I'm up. And even I had those kind of thoughts in my head, like, you know, last week and then this week too, like, oh my God, everybody knows that I just did a show and I've already gained this much weight. Like, fuck, they're gonna think that I'm just like housing it and like, who am I? And like such a bad example. Like, we all have these thoughts, but do not let that hinder you, because let's just be honest, most people really don't give a fuck in the gym and they're probably not even looking at you, to be completely honest. But just in general, you shouldn't let that like get to you, because some weight gain, like we've talked about, is normal and it is really important. But so for training, so if you are like dealing with an injury or something like that, I would say that maybe take it light the week after. What I did, because I've just been, you know, again, pretty banged up like usual, is after the show, I trained 3 days that week. And I kept it pretty high rep, pretty light, and just got in, just did some stuff. It actually worked out because I ended up traveling midweek that week as well, which I normally don't do. So it was actually ended up being fine just training those 3 days. And my body definitely felt rested. Like now on top of the like, you know, eating and less cardio, obviously again, that kind of like puts some weight on. And then to where the start of this week, I was like, oh shit, is this like, you know, like this isn't good. You know, initially that's what I thought. But now I've been, you know, I'm recording these on Friday. I'm gonna go train after this, but I trained Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I had killer sessions every single day. It's crazy how you forget what it feels like to train not half dead, and I haven't felt like this probably since May, to be honest. Maybe even before that. But I would say that like the month out from my first show in June, we like really dropped, I mean, we kind of like really dropped the hammer. Yeah, that's like when we like really turned it up. And you know, through all that, I was, you know, after the shows in June, I still stayed on, you know, stayed that lean and got leaner actually through the August shows. So kind of forget what it feels like to not feel like a skeleton all day and like just feel like I just got to get this workout done and get out of here. Had really good pumps. What is that? I don't even know. So it's, you know, use this time now to train. If you are dealing with injury or you are, you know, just kind of like tweaked up, the week after, I would say take it light, take it high rep. You know, just get in, get out. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like, you're probably not gonna be building a bunch of muscle that week anyway, but don't just completely negate going at all, even if you don't feel like it. That's the biggest thing. Like, we normally kind of go through these like highs of prep and then like the show, and then it's like, oh, and then it just kind of like comes back down. And then that can lead into motivation for training, but do not let that get to you. You know, write down a plan, kind of the same thing with cardio, and stick to it. Even if it's only 3 days going like I did, and then this week, now I'm ready to attack it. I got a new split. Me and Ryan came up with like a really good, you know, program that we're gonna run for a few weeks. I'm really excited, and now I'm actually ready to attack it, and I feel ready and feel recovered. So it's like anything, it's finding the happy medium. It's all about context, you know, kind of whatever. But in general, don't go from doing a ton of cardio to none. You still need to be doing some, but not as much as prep. Don't use it as a way to like relieve guilt if you've eaten anything. Write down a plan for your cardio, stick to it. Same thing with training. You know, the week after, don't not go to the gym at all because you're not motivated, but you don't have to go in and have like, you know, Hulk sessions every day. Maybe hit it up 3 to 4 times, lightweight, high rep, just get in, get out, get something going, and then the following week you're gonna feel so much better. So thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Hopefully these training and cardio tips were helpful, and see you for the next one.